In the heart of Chicago, a city full of lights, music and ambition, lived Michael Anderson, a 32-year-old marketing professional who had always been confident in his career but somewhat uncertain when it came to relationships. His story was not about games or tricks, but about understanding women, their emotions, and the psychology behind building true connection. Michael had been dating Emily Carter, a 28-year-old schoolteacher who had recently moved from Boston to Chicago. Emily was bright, compassionate, and independent, with a love for art and literature. She had a warm smile that drew people in, but she also carried an aura of self-respect that made Michael realize one thing. If he wanted to ask her for intimacy, whether emotional closeness, deeper affection, or moving the relationship forward, it had to be done the right way. For weeks, Michael struggled with his thoughts. He would sit in his apartment at night, staring out at the Chicago skyline, wondering how to bring up something so delicate without sounding pushy or insensitive. His friends gave him all kinds of advice, some of it reckless, some of it outdated, but deep down, Michael knew this was not about shortcuts. It was about understanding Emily's heart and mind. One Friday evening, Michael and Emily went out for dinner in downtown Chicago. The restaurant had soft jazz playing in the background, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Michael looked at Emily, who was laughing about a story from her classroom, and realized that intimacy wasn't about rushing, it was about trust. As their relationship grew, Michael decided to take a thoughtful approach. He started paying attention to Emily's nonverbal cues, the way she leaned in when she felt comfortable, the sparkle in her eyes when she was genuinely happy, and the moments when she fell quiet, signaling she needed space. Psychologists often say that women respond to safety, respect, and emotional connection before they can fully open themselves to deeper intimacy. Michael knew this, and he worked on creating a safe space for Emily, where she could be her truest self without fear of judgment. One evening, while walking by the Chicago Riverwalk, Emily opened up about her past. She had been in a relationship where she often felt unheard and dismissed. That experience had left her cautious, but also stronger. Michael listened intently, not interrupting, not trying to fix everything, but simply being present. That night, Emily said something that stuck with him forever. Intimacy isn't about rushing, it's about feeling understood. Over the next few months, Michael began to see intimacy in a new light. It wasn't about physical advances or bold moves. It was about respect, patience, and emotional closeness. He learned to ask with kindness instead of expectation. One Saturday morning, while they were sipping coffee at a quiet cafe in Lincoln Park, Michael gently said, "Emily, I want to take our relationship to a deeper place, but only if you feel ready to." Emily looked at him, her eyes soft, and she smiled. She appreciated that he asked instead of assuming. That single moment of respectful communication became a turning point in their relationship. They didn't rush into anything. Instead, they built a foundation of mutual trust and affection. They spent weekends exploring Chicago's museums, going on bike rides along Lake Michigan, and sharing books they loved. Through every conversation, Michael realized intimacy was as much about emotional vulnerability as it was about affection. Months later, when Emily finally leaned into him during a quiet evening at his apartment and said, "I trust you," Michael knew that his patience had been worth it. The psychology behind intimacy became clear to him. Women often value emotional depth, consistency, and genuine care far more than grand gestures. Asking for intimacy wasn't about pressure. It was about timing, empathy, and listening. Michael and Emily's story wasn't just about love. It was about learning that intimacy, true intimacy, is built slowly, with respect at its core. Their relationship grew stronger, not because Michael pushed for more, but because he created space where Emily felt safe enough to open her heart. In the end, Michael realized something powerful. When you ask a woman for intimacy, it's not the words that matter most. It's the respect, patience, and understanding behind them. And that was the love story that unfolded in the beautiful city of Chicago, where two people discovered that the deepest intimacy is not rushed, but earned.